2 Chainz.
Chainz.
Titty Boy to 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
That was a real job that had to happen right there, man. You see what I'm saying? Because this man did a whole reinvention on everybody and came back and changed the game.
He did. Chainz, I met Chainz formally when we were doing, I don't know if you remember Beehive Radio.
Yeah, because folks used to confuse me with that. Right. Actually, that's what kind of helped me early on because they thought I was Beehive. Right. And to this day, niggas still calling me Beehive. I'm like, God damn. But I know exactly what you're talking about.
So Beehive Radio was an internet radio station. This
Michael Johnson.
Yep, Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
So this is before we called it podcasting or whatever. It was still internet radio, right? Nobody really knew what it was.
Exactly.
And we were doing that, and I met Chainz around that time, right?
Crazy.
And so I never forget, we had a show on Beehive, and Chainz walks in, and because I knew him, I think I knew him through like Tech. I think Tech and them had Street Execs he had just started working with them. And Chainz walks in full 2 Chainz
regalia.
Doing being him, but being him at that time where it hadn't jumped off yet. This might have been pre-True Religion tape.
Ooh.
So this is like it's coming.
Yeah.
But I think maybe riding around and getting it was out, but the tape wasn't out.
Yeah.
And I remember Chainz sits down and he's like, "Bruh, for real, I'm just better than the rest of you." And I mean he's popping. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I liked how he was popping, but he didn't have the success to back it up at the time.
Oh, okay.
So at that point, it's just like, he just popping shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I liked how he was doing it. Because he was extremely confident. And I remember Chainz being like, man, I'm telling y'all, this thing finna work. It's finna blow. And when it blow, I'm gonna act. He said, I'm gonna act funny on all y'all because he told us stories of people who had just kind of played him to the left because you know what I'm saying, they just thought he was Luda's homeboy, or they might have knew him on some street shit, but they didn't take him seriously as an artist. And I just remember Chainz just being like, I'm just telling y'all what's finna happen. Just very, very, very arrogant about it.
Yeah.
And we was like, all right. And I remember him and Nando kind of clashed that day, and so. When we would see him later on, like, cause mind you, we supporting, cause he the homie. Yeah. He from the hometown. But every now and then, 2 Chainz would do interviews. He'd be like, "See, I told Nando. Nando didn't believe." And Nando would be like, "It ain't that I didn't believe, bro. It's just you was
pissing me off.
You was popping early. You was popping before you had this."
Yeah.
He's like, "So what I was supposed to do? Just buy in?" Yeah. And Chainz like, "Yes." Yes, that's exactly what you were supposed to do. When I told you I was finna be the one, you were supposed to buy in that day. And Chainz is, again, extremely talented. He knows how to make a record. But I just love his charisma. Like, he's a real star.
Yeah.
I never forget seeing Chainz at the Hawks game, and Matt Ryan was like 3 seats down from him. They was on the court side. And I watched little white kids climb over Matt Ryan to get the 2 Chainz. And I was like, oh, we tripping in Atlanta. I said, Atlanta is out of control. Yeah. Our starting quarterback is a nobody sitting next to dude.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I love Chainz. That's my man.
So now, when it comes to just breaking artists and just this industry as a whole, Nick, what are some of the stages that you saw these artists go through, man? And how do you feel like the industry treated these artists throughout their matriculation through this thing, man? Did it just eat them up, or did it make the dreams come true, or is it just a big belly of the beast that you find yourself in?
I think it's a little bit of both. Yeah. I think that this industry is it's unforgiving and it's really cold, right? So you got to make the most of it. So I never blame or fault anybody who can't stick through it. Mm-hmm. I think the ones that survive it are truly survivors. I call it, when I see people that I've known for years that are still in this business and we see each other like, hey, still here, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, you still sticking it out, because we know how many of our people have either quit or just kind of getting pushed out the game. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes it's just sheer luck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I won't name any particular labels or whatever, but I think about my life and my career all the time. Like, I just happen to land in good spaces, right? I created a lot of shit on my own, and a lot of that, I'm smart and all that. Yeah. But I ended up with Jeezy at a time when Jeezy became one of the biggest artists, and that definitely helped spring my career forward. Yeah. But think about if you had ended up working for another artist who only had a hot summer or a hot year. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you work there and y'all popping and everybody's calling your phone and you the man or you the woman, and then that thing goes away, and so now there's no need to call you no more. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have the creativity or the vision to see yourself into a new situation, it's like, well, what do you do?
Yeah.
And I watched a lot of people that I really like and I really respect just happen to end up with the one hit wonder or the 2-3 hit wonder that, like I said, after a year or so, now what? You know what I'm saying? So I made some good relationships throughout the years, and I'm not bitter about the game. But there was a time when I was so burnt out that I did walk away. You know what I'm saying? Like when I left Coalition, everybody, you know, I remember when I left Coalition, everybody's like, "Oh man, what happened? Y'all fell out. You and him were beating." I'm like, no. I was tired.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This
Folks
game.
don't think you can get tired in this game.
No, because they think you partying all the time. Everybody think you kicking it. You doing interviews. You in the club. You taking pictures. You going. You traveling. So everybody like, why would you get tired of that? I'm like, bro, like this game is exhausting. My man Z is here. Like he'll tell you like he every time I say, man, I got so much to do. He said, bro, I've watched you for the past few months since I've been here around you, like you just working like this. This doesn't stop. And so, and especially when you're in a behind the scenes role like myself, there isn't much, like when I do these interviews, this is great for me because it's like no one talks or does anything for me. I'm constantly being asked to help somebody else. I gotta help get this DJ booked, help get this artist going, help propel this other person. So all of my resources, all my relationships, like when I call you Beehive, I never call you for Nick. I call you to say, hey, can you for somebody else? So after you do it for 100 other people, you tired.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're not getting.
Oh, and then because it might not be easy too when you try to do that. You might be going catching hell every time you're trying to help somebody.
And people don't understand that. I'm like, bro, like that's my friend. Behind my partner. You know what I'm saying? He don't have to do that for you. He don't owe you that. Like you're only on the phone with him or in front of him because I called him. So, you know, after you do that for years of people and they're ungrateful,
I feel you.
Or just even if they are grateful, it's like again, once you give, you kind of drained. And I think this business does that to you. And it does it to the artist. The artist like, yo, I know Jeezy used to do this thing during his shows where he'd be like, man, I gave y'all Trap or Die. Like, how y'all doubt me?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? I gave y'all, I'm the snowman. How y'all doubting that I can make a record or do it again? But that's the music business. Like, okay, you gave us that classic record or that classic song or that big hit. Do it again. And you start to be like, I'm never going to do enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never going to do enough, be enough to satisfy y'all. So I see why artists get to a point, money-wise or whatever, they like, man,
I'm out.
I'm out. Fuck this shit, because y'all don't appreciate me no way. You know what I'm saying? But it sucks because I watched, I won't name the artist, but I just watched a guy over the past maybe year or so. He's just been like, I don't do this for the approval of the fans. I don't do this to please nobody. I'm like, bro, you spent the first 13 years trying to appease and please everybody. Like you courted our fandom for years, and now you've gotten to a point where you're like, I don't do this I don't need nobody's opinions, and I don't care if y'all like this. And it's like, I know how you got here. I know where that feeling comes from, but you start to see fans be like, well, he don't care no way. It's like, yeah, but he does that because of y'all. Y'all pushed him here. You know what I'm saying? And I watched it. I'm watching it with other artists now that, you know, like a couple of big artists being like,
I'm done.
I'm over it.